Hey everybody, Ben Engelman here with Friedrich Realty and the Engelman team. Want to bring you a weekly and monthly update for the Ames, Iowa housing market for November 3rd, 2025. So we'll jump right into it here. We'll go over some just weekly numbers and monthly numbers, and then we'll jump over to the stats and the graphs. So hang on close there, and I'll kind of show you where the trends are and what we're looking at here for the future and how it compares to the last, 5, 6, 7 years. So looking at this week, sitting with 104 active listings on the market. We were at 100 last week, so a little bit of a tick up there. 43 pendings finishing the month out there, and then 59 closed for October of 25. If we compare that to where we were last year at the same time, we were at 116 active on the market, so we are down from where we were last year. And then looking at 43, so same amount pended as last year with fewer homes, and then closed, we were at 38. We ended the month at 59. Big jump in closed sales. So that's just saying, your September was a really good month, obviously. Your August and September most likely. But when you look at the breakdown here, we were at, on the single family home side, we were at 67 last week. We're at 68 this week. 5 townhomes, 3 condos, and 60 single family homes. Exact same number as last week with the 60. And then new construction, we've actually ticked up from 31 to 34. So when you start looking at last year on the resale side, we were sitting at 85 homes. Now being at 68, that's definitely a lower number, across the board looking at it. But then when you start looking at that new construction, we were sitting at 27 here with a higher number of resale homes. Now we're sitting at 34 with a lower number of resale homes. So I think the writing's on the wall. Builders are starting to see it. Interest rates are dropping right now. So I think by spring, by that first and second quarter of next year, I think we should see some pretty desirable, hopefully, some desirable interest rates and get things moving. But to have that number be over 30 for the new construction, very good, very, very good thing. So all in all, really good year so far, especially to finish out the end of the year. We'll see how November and December go. But as long as the cold can kind of stay away, that usually deters a lot of people. But we'll find out. We'll find out if that works. So when you start looking at the monthly stats here, so we'll just look at active, right? And so sitting at 104 here right now in October, you start looking at where everything else was, and there's 2020, 24, we're at 112, but then you get up in here to 19. In 19 pre-COVID, 188 homes to the 104. Big difference, big difference, and it's going to showing a lot of these other trends. We're still not down here where we were in 22, where we only had 64, 81. So we are trending up in a better direction, but trending down from where we were last year. And then 2020, obviously, that was when things started to really bottom out and people started jumping into everything. But either way, with rates, I can see why we have less active listings. When you look at monthly closings, this is wild. So when you start looking at here, let's see if we can get this on here. Oh, just want to bring up that 25. Let's see if I can get up there. Well, either way, on a monthly closings of 59, literally 2020 was the only time higher. In your normal market, you're going to be quite a bit lower. So in 19, you saw 37. So second lowest out of the last essentially 7 years. But at 59, that just tells me things are starting to trend up. People are starting to move. They've been bottled up for a while. So that's good stuff. New listings definitely staying right there in the middle of the pack, maybe a little bit higher than average, but still, I believe that this 2020 was an anomaly with new listings at 75, just because people are seeing what prices were doing, and they were finding homes and they were just making really quick moves as interest rates started falling. So interest rates really started falling there at the end of 2020, if you remember, into 21, and then it was a madhouse. So days on market, everyone's always concerned about days on market. 42.8 is what we're sitting at right now. Where we were in 2020, 59, and that was just a flood of more inventory into the market, and it was getting gobbled up pretty quick. But I think anywhere really under 60, you're all right. Biggest thing about selling your house is days on market. You have to price it appropriately to what the market is doing, and then you have to have it ready to go. So the fewer objections, the better. Absorption rate. We look at absorption rate, and again, absorption rate is the amount of homes on the market and how many months it would take to sell through those homes if no other homes came on the market. So right now we're looking at 2.31. Good number, definitely a good number. But back in 19, 3.77. Once you get in between that 4 and 5 months of absorption, then it shifts from a seller's market into a buyer's market and starts to shift a little bit more depending on your area and what you got. But that's really what we're looking at. We're still way below that. Our inventory would have to really explode 50 to 100 more listings to get into that buyer's market type scenario. So people are always asking, oh, there's so many houses on the market. No, not the case. Not the case at all. When you start looking at your sales price to list price ratios, you're looking at 97.3%. So that just means 100% of your list price, you're not even getting, under that 3% off. And so when you're looking at a house, even if it's been on for 30 days or something, and you say, oh, I'm going to really lowball them, to be realistic, if they just drop the price 1, 2, or 3% instead of, 6 to 10%, like if you wanted to really, really lowball them, they'd probably get the house sold. So be thinking about that when you're looking at homes. And I just say that not to just be a downer about it, but really just to be realistic. And when you're making an offer, what can you really get? And in the end, the price has to make sense for what you want to do to the house, how much you can afford, all those good things. So most houses are priced pretty appropriately for what they are around here, depending on the price range. Just, that's how long it's going to sit. So that's all I've got for today. But if you have any questions, give me a call. Give someone on the team a call. Love to have a conversation with you. Come over, take a look at your house. We're here to help. I believe that we're going to see a big run next year if rates do start to drop quite a bit more. Around the country, I think you're going to see a lot bigger run because they have the inventory already. Some of them are sitting on 5, 6, 7 months of inventory. So their absorption is that high. Ours just isn't around here. We're a smaller market. We've got a lot of people moving around, a little bit more money here than some other places. So, and we're not overbuilding. So you get down to the metro and some other areas, things might be sitting a little bit longer, and that's fine. But just know and get an agent that's an expert in the area you're looking. That's the biggest thing. Whether you're looking in Ames, Des Moines, Ankeny, or somewhere outside of Iowa, it's important to find a good agent that can really talk to you about, is this house fairly priced? Is it going to fit the needs that I need? And where's it going to go? What could it possibly do from this year to next year to 5 years to 10 years? Because we don't have a crystal ball, but we can also just say, here's what the trends have been so far. So we're here to help. Let us know how we can help, and enjoy the cold weather because fall is definitely here, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.